I was pretty impressed when Dhurandhar used Higgsfield in their official music video, but slightly disappointed when Jana Nayagan used Gemini without removing the watermark.
लोगों का कहना है कि 300 करोड़ रुपए के बजट में बनी फिल्म में AI का ऐसा इस्तेमाल करना काफी शर्मनाक है।
This isn't the first time technology has created controversy in the world of movies. In 1920s, the introduction of sound was considered the death of visual storytelling. And when we shifted to color, many filmmakers viewed it as a distraction that lacked artistic soul.
But Orson had a theory that, he says, you know what I say about black and white.
Name me a great performance in color.
Some people like the digital filmmaking out there. I'm not such a fan of it.
Even today, on one hand, we have Interstellar director Christopher Nolan and Kill Bill director Quentin Tarantino using physical film instead of making movies digitally.
We shoot on 70mm. The other format we use is 70mm IMAX.
And on the other, we have Titanic director James Cameron say this.
I don't want to spend another 4 years times 2 on 2 more Avatar films in my life at the age of 71. So I want to figure out how to do them faster, which will make it cheaper. Now, does generative AI play a role in that? It may well, as long as we stay within the ethical boundaries of never replacing the actors, never replacing the artists.
Avatar took 4 years to make. The question is, if AI existed back then, would it be made faster and would it be loved equally? Where does AI fit in every step of making a blockbuster? And what is the next billion-dollar opportunity that most filmmakers are today ignoring?
What do you think of AI-generated art?
I love it.
How scared should we be?
They give it not even like people are saying 10 years, I'm giving it 2. You'll see entire AI move.
समय हिंदी फिल्म इंडस्ट्री के सारे प्रोड्यूसर्स ने अपने ऑफिस में एक AI सेक्शन ऑलमोस्ट खोल ही रखा है।
僕はこれを自分たちの仕事を伝えたいとは全然思いません。極めて何か生命に対する侮辱を感じます。
Movies that will be one of the last things, if everything gets replaced, to be replaced by AI.
More than 11,000 Hollywood film and TV writers are on strike.
Will AI destroy humanity?
Traditionally, writing has always been a lonely marathon. If writers hit a plot hole, they were usually stuck. Each rewrite or revision meant weeks of isolation and delay in production. Take Tumbat as the ultimate example. Rahi Anil Barve wrote the first draft of the script in 1997, but he didn't shoot a single frame until 2012. That's 15 years long before the movie production stage even started.
सर ये आइडिया जो आया था 1993 में आया था, फिर पहला ड्राफ्ट लिखा था 97 में 98 में लिखा था. Then I started thinking of Vinayak. I started thinking of this dark village and the entire journey.
But today, we have shows like Stranger Things generating millions of views where the writers are being spotted using ChatGPT to help them get better ideas.
The director of the documentary One Last Adventure, The Making of Stranger Things 5, is addressing a claim that the Duffer Brothers used ChatGPT for the finale.
AI tools like Claude or ChatGPT act like a writer's room. Good writers use AI for their baseline and not the finish line. And this is not just restricted to your movies.
तेरी अधूरी सी वफा मांगू मैं मांगू और ना. So in this, अधूरी सी वफा means incomplete loyalty. I have ChatGPT it.
But then the question is, AI has been trained on human work without giving them any credit. This amazing piece of technology has been built on the minds of humans who have spent years fixing their craft. Nobody knows how these companies have made these models so good.
If an AI uses your work, it should pay you. And so if someone's work is included in that training data that trains an AI model, then that person deserves some kind of compensation whenever that AI generates revenue.
The ongoing case of the New York Times versus OpenAI is being watched as a landmark that will define whether AI training on copyrighted data requires compensation. Because the New York Times alleges OpenAI used its articles to train AI models. Another interesting take is that people like AI content if they do not know it's AI generated. I see so many influencers on Instagram getting millions of views. My own reel feed is filled with Sora generated AI slop getting insane engagement. But if they get to know, then you're attacked like anything.
2025 को जब तमिल में रांझना फिर से रिलीज हुई तो दर्शकों को एक चौंकाने वाली बात पता चली कि इस फिल्म की क्लासिक एंडिंग ही बदल चुकी है, और वो भी एआई की मदद से। और सिर्फ फिल्म इंडस्ट्री ही नहीं, सोशल मीडिया पर भी बवाल मच गया है।
A London cinema has cancelled the world premiere of a film that was scheduled for this weekend, all thanks to backlash it received over the film's controversial screenwriter, ChatGPT.
Interestingly, people are okay with using AI for research, but not for ideation. Netflix used algorithms way back when they created House of Cards, and it was a huge success. I also wish Bollywood producers did some data analysis before they invested crores in poor ideas. Because AI can read and find patterns faster than any human alive. But AI can also only generate patterns similar to what has been created before. I'm not sure if Salim Javed would have created Sholay if they were using AI. That made Sholay so popular.
Thakur on one side, Gabbar on the other side. Thakur, he is crisp, to the point. On the other side, this man is dirty and gregarious. True. You have two friends. One is extremely boisterous, another is sober. You have two girls in the film. One is extremely talkative, the other is totally silent. And because you have both the ends of the spectrum in your hand, the story covers almost all kind of emotions.
But maybe if Salim Javed had used AI, they would have found a better critique, a better researcher, a better alternate finder, rather than doing things all by themselves. After scripting comes storyboarding, a process that requires a lot of effort. It took Rahi Anil Barve 8 months to create 700 pages of the storyboard for Tumbad. And he mentioned that this pre-production was the anchor on which everything was based. Brahmastra storyboarding took years, and even then people criticized it.
I would give 1 star.
अगर वो 6-7 साल और वो hype नहीं होती ना, and ये actors नहीं होता, I don't think anybody would have showed up.
बहुत गंदी फिल्म थी यार. Star Wars also took years to conceptualize every little detail.
To pull off Star Wars, George Lucas spent years planning so that he and his team had a clear vision when they began shooting.
But today, InVideo and Higgsfield have introduced features specifically targeting these storyboarding problems. They have literally comic book sketch to a video feature that can take a simple black and white sketch like this and then convert it into this. And that is not all. I'm honestly blown away by the kind of features Higgsfield has launched recently. But then industry experts like VFX supervisor Jim Gedelick and cinematographer Catherine Blilhard have signaled a massive red flag, which is security. For a major studio, using an AI platform is too risky because they feel it's an invitation for hacks and leaks that could cost them millions. Brilhart says that many studios won't even touch GenAI for storyboards because all of these models have been trained on scraped data, which is human work without their consent. And as she puts it, studios don't even want a hint of licensing issues in their final frames. Now, Disney and Universal have already sued Midjourney for similar issues. But then we also have Disney join hands with OpenAI Sora to create AI videos at scale. I think storyboarding in movies should use AI for sure. I don't think storyboarding artists are going to be completely replaced. I think they will be the biggest customers of AI. Last year, consistent characters was a big issue, but today that's been solved. The only threat here is the ethics of it and the risk of killing human creativity. With style references, character references, what used to take months for storyboarding artists will now take just weeks. But do we really want speed in filmmaking? Or do we want to experience new things, new perspectives, and new pattern breaks? We as an audience get dopamine when we see something new. But if everyone starts using AI for their finish line, the industry will see a dip in how audiences enjoy their work.
AI is a craftsman, but they're just cross-pollinating things that exist. Nothing new is created. Craftsman is knowing how to work, art is knowing when to stop. And I think knowing when to stop is going to be a very difficult thing for AI to learn because it's taste.
Remember all the movies that you've loved in life. It has always been the core emotion behind the story that has kept you hooked. If visuals and production was everything, War 2 and Kalki would have broken all global records. But turns out, the core emotion behind every movie is the hero character. We've been training companies across the world on how they should use AI. In fact, if you want us to train your team, send me an email on admin@anshmera.com and I'll tell you all the crazy stuff we teach. But even we know know that jobs are not going away. They're getting redefined. And instead of worrying about unemployment, your team needs to worry about being unemployable. In fact, look at this report right here. This shows which jobs in the entertainment industry will face major impact from Gen AI. Animators and VFX artists are on the very top, but at the very bottom we have makeup designers, directors and camera operators. Now I know what you'll say. Ansh, AI tools have now added camera controls also. For those who don't know, Cinematic Studio inside Higgsfield lets you take any footage and then edit the camera view. You can choose which camera type you want the video to be shot with, decide the lens type, also set the focal length, everything can be customized. The same can happen on LF with Runway ML as well.
Let's say a younger filmmaker has the vision of Mr. Sir Rajamouli sir, but he has written something which is phenomenal. Let's say this person is 28, 30 years old. Chances are he would probably take another decade to prove himself on smaller budget films to get the resources to make something like that. But he has the vision, you can see it on the page. For someone like him, this is really great use of AI for him to go out and make a 10-minuter and then get a studio for him to actually expand that much bigger. I think that would be a great use of AI.
But camera angles or quality never made a movie a big hit. Plus, people who just know AI and not their actual subject have a new label in the market, and it's called promptstitute. Sounds very offensive, but don't blame the messenger. I'll give you a new nerdy perspective to this entire debate. You know how AI is actually thinking about all these things? In every AI model, to take a certain decision, you have parameters and then weights attached to those parameters. If I see a picture of a cat, the nose parameter will have a higher weight, but having 2 eyes will have less weight. In any decision you take in life, any prediction that you make in life, even you as a human being calculate thousands of weights and parameters subconsciously. In a movie, the core emotion parameter has a much higher weight. The pattern break has much higher weight. But the camera quality, the background quality, all those weights matter, but they don't matter the most.
Well, I think the soul is unimaginable and is ineffable, the soul. And it cannot be created by any algorithm. It is just something that exists in all of us. And to lose that because books and movies and music is being written by machines that we created and now we're letting them run with, that terrifies me.
So what do people do? It's the same old advice I've been giving everybody since 3 years. Start learning and evolving. AI is a slot machine, not a vending machine. You need to know how to use it properly and build on top of what AI gives you. Only hands-on practice will tell you what AI can and cannot do. And while everybody else is arguing on the usage of AI, spend all your time learning how it works. In fact, there's a very funny meme that I saw which said that most arguments are just 2 neural networks trained on different data sets yelling about their programming. AI folks will get this joke. And to all the filmmakers watching, look at the pattern of our society. We've replaced natural diamonds with lab-grown diamonds. We've replaced natural skin with makeup. And if you look closely, filmmaking is the art of lying convincingly. AI, when used smartly, just helps you do that very, very well. We just need to figure out the ethics of this AI training. We can't let AI just train on everyone else's data and not give them any credit. Artists should be paid for contributing to these AI models, and there is no doubt about it. But while these changes happen, please start learning. If you think people will only like real stuff and not AI generated stuff, please grow up. If you want to join our offline AI academy, go visit thecuttingedge.school or the URL in description. Comment your detailed reflections or thoughts so that we can talk to each other here on YouTube. I would love to engage in a dialogue in the comment section. Don't forget to like this video and hit on the subscribe button. Bye bye.